Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Good morning, happy Monday. Markets just opened, and I am a little bit behind here, so I'm gonna rush through this here pretty quick. Let's do this. Welcome aboard, everyone.
Speed of RTY 236.
What exactly is out the box, and why do our traders absolutely love it?
Michael Othrew. Are you ready? Indeed, I am. Late to our date here this morning. I apologize. Let's get straight into things here this morning. Oh, didn't even get my full auto turned on there. That is a beautiful Enigma to the up move. It looks like I've still got some drawings from Friday, so let me clear the deck here.
Speed of RTY 156.
All right, so previous important zone from Friday hits with a beautiful Enigma pop-up there, and is it still the first 5 minutes? It is, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the system here. I'm going to go a little bit larger here, try to get something out of my first couple of trades here. Whoops, I got the wrong sizings. We want to be for small, not tiny. There we go. All right, let's see. Currently, let's take a peek to make sure we're not inside the fiddle zone. Let's take a look at fiddle zone here. So we're outside the fiddle zone, so we're good. Turning that on here.
Speed of RTY 146.
I'm going to take a quick stab long here. We've got a Enigma up on the 4s, and I'm going to see if I can get a little bit out of that or not. Finger over the close if we don't. Like the beginning of a little bit of stair stepping.
Touch RTY on the 27.
There we go.
Target filled.
Almost there to the target up top.
Speed of RTY 109.
All right, I'll close it up there, rest. There kind of started to hang up there right in front of it. And first trade of the morning, especially me being a little bit behind here this morning, I want to take that play and run. 355. Still got full auto turned on the bottom side, but that will be trade number 1. Speaking of weird, hold on. Why do I not have... I'm missing my coins at the bottom left.
RTY on the 27.
All right, well, you can see them down here. We'll get this moved over here in a minute. Trade number 1 on my $500 sheet down there.
124.
I'm going to size down the next one. I can always add to that position here. And couple other things. Let's get our pop-up chat going here. Pop-out chat. Speaking of other things we need to get done here, we've got the real-time protection. Let's make sure that's turned off here this morning. Real-time protection. Get my PC running at its fastest.
Enigma long on the RTY1.
Okay, we just got Enigma longed here, and that one could be tricky.
Enigma long on the RTY1.
Yikes, we got a double.
Lower bands touch RTY on the 27. Speed of RTY 107.
Target
RTY
filled.
on the 8. Speed of RTY
Target
107.
See if we're going to get target 2. Target 2 acquired. Beautiful double Enigma off the bottom there.
Lower bands touch RTY.
I was wondering, I did not hear
77.
audio box for a while. Did it finally start to kick in? Don't forget, we are on RTY right now. That is trade number 2 for the morning. 9:37. So we are past the first 5 minutes. Up $840 here this morning already. Been live streaming for 6 minutes. So $840 in 6 minutes. I don't know, somebody do the hourly rate on that. Let's see. Let's go back and get the super chat so I can see you guys and your questions. Good morning, Jock. Juicy. What's going on, Missile? Damien, how are you, sir? Eddie B. Let's go. Speaking of let's go. You're late? I know, I'm late too. I'm late too this morning. Alright, if this one touches the ball, I'll go ahead and take a shot. I'm going to keep a very tight stop. Whoops. Target filled. Alright, thought I might get to 1,000 on that. I would have needed to tap that twice to get to 1,000. Trade number 3. Well, I am winner chicken dinner plus a bonus. So we're going to talk about another couple things here. Mentorship Monday. That's $8,400 an hour. Oh, Butamus. So we are going to incorporate Mentorship Mondays on Monday
Speed
with the live streams. Let's talk about it. So that is, first of all, those of you who are new with us, if you're wondering, like, what is that sheet down at the bottom? What are these coin things going on? I didn't get to do much of an intro there this morning because I came in a few minutes late. But it is Monday, and on Mondays, we like to have something called Mentorship Monday. Oftentimes is going to be in the late evenings, but with my current schedules and kids, you know, I've got 4 kids now, and man, it's trying to get stuff done in the evenings after having done multiple streams throughout the day gets to be a bit tricky. So what I would like to do, oh man, hold on one second, let me check my mic. First of all, can you guys give me a mic check? Is the mic good? Test 1, test 2. It sounds very poppy in my ear. Sounds like it's is it overshooting? Can't really tell right now. Hold on a second. Let me sound.
Speed of RTY 94.
Oh, because the volume's down at like 29. Oh my word. Okay, I was like, something's not right. Okay, one sec.
RTY on the 27.
Test 1, test 2, test 1, test 2. That's what happens when you come in late on a Monday. You don't get to check any of your stuff. And yeah,
on the 1.
stuff. Test 1, test 2. There we go. All right. Now I'm not popping back in my ear anymore. Mic is good. Okay, wonderful. Well, I think it was just on my side. Yeah, the mic is good. Gain is high. Okay. How about now? Are we good now? I think we should be. This is normal. Mic is better now. Okay. Sorry about that. Double cross at the bottom of a zone. Let's draw this out. I would like to start doing some mentorship Mondays either right after my set of trades. Eddie came up with a great suggestion that kind of best of both worlds there, where I've got the flexibility to take more trades, particularly maybe in the afternoon, but in the morning session come out here and do our 5 trade basic scenario to get to winner chicken dinner. And I thought, well, that's gonna that's gonna make things particularly short. However, the good news is that also means, though, that we can have some teaching time there around Mentorship Mondays. Now, it's not going to happen the rest of the week, but let's talk about it. Mentorship Mondays, I'm going to try to incorporate them into either the morning or the afternoon live stream. So if you guys have been familiar with the Mentorship Mondays and you're like, okay, so I've been in the live stream in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, and then, okay, now I got to come back here in the evening to do another thing. And then you got to do all the intro stuff all over again. I'm going to try to incorporate them on Mondays. Just know that my primary focus will be coming in, talking about big picture on market setups. Let's zoom out here, speaking of, and look at all the time frames going on here right now. We got a level 13 at the bottom of a zone. Let's see how this one reacts. I'm not going to just enter in on a 13. 13 was the pivot from before. Then we came up, and an 11, we just kind of pushed back down. But currently, the tuning should be a 13. So this could turn back right here, but nope, went all the way to a target right there. So let's wait here. We got a shark back play potential coming up here on the 8th. So I do see a nice, juicy shark back coming in here at 2078. I'm going to write down one of the levels right here. 2078 will be the shark back. So what I can do is come over here and press F6. Shark back. If we get a
Speed of
RTOFA, real-time order flow event that comes in at that 2078 around the shark back, that could be a play setup here. Got a little pop up here on the last cross that just showed up right here as well. Okay, oh, look over here on, first of all, let me check what RTY is on our optimizations. Now, if you are brand new with us, did I do the Who's Ready thing this morning in the Apex tips and tricks section? Wow, I have off my game this morning. That's hilarious. So if you look in the Apex tricks section inside of Discord, you'll see my announcement there this morning. Whoops. RTY is 35. Thank you for that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to 35. 35R. Okay, so that changes things a bit. So we've got some more room to move on that. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'm going into superstition mode here because I'm about $20 away from $1,000. So I am feeling the superstition buster here. So I'm going to turn on my superstition buster ATM to push myself over 1K here on my final trade. We've got the prior low coming in right here. Let's zoom into this to see what I'm talking about. We got, there's the shark back right here. Oops. Yo, can you guys see that now? Shark back right there. We did pivot up there a couple of bars, but we also have the prior low coming in down there. So we may suck it up all the way down there, and then we've got divergence firing off here as well. So I think we're probably going to get an accumulation zone here. So that's going to give me some opportunities to potentially play this back and forth right here. So at least that's my plan. So let's take a peek at that and then look for some great setups in there as well on the lower time frame.
Fib.RTY on the
8th. So coming back to the Apex Tricks thing that I was just talking about here. So in the Apex Tricks room, over here on the left, I came in and I just clicked on it. I guess I don't know why that defaulted there, but yeah, that was funny. So we'll come back in here to the main chat, and I meant to post that in the main chat. So happy that you guys were able to find your way in.
Speed of RTY 62.
All right, so clicking in my 3 trades there, plugging those into our electronic tracker as well. because I am so far behind this morning. So thanks for keeping me honest here. We're going to keep... oh, that's a beauty. Did you go all in on that one? Love me an Enigma HMD Confluence on the Mac V. Excellent job. Yajama. Not sure if I'm saying that right. All right, let's pull this over.
RTY on the 35.
Oh, that is a beautiful moonshot. Okay, so I just missed that one. I was farting around in the room there. So there it is. We came into prior low. We got a green dot inside the shark back. And then there's your moonshot for a 20 tick up move there.
RTY 87.
For the win. Up to the cross, it's actually 27 ticks from the low where that cross came in. Let's go ahead and draw in the zone. So it kind of came out a bit. I'm going to squeeze it in right there. So remember, double crosses at the bottom of a zone, double cross at the top of a zone are trade opportunities. Target the middle of the zone. We've got a white line there that happens to land right on it. That is the same location I had told you before about that shark back play coming in at 2078. And sure enough, we are accumulating on the money. So best plays for runners. Look where our Mac VU is. So we are Mac VU red. So if we are playing a double cross at the top of a zone, I can trade to the middle for target 1 and I will hold it to the opposing side. If we're going the other way, double cross at the bottom of the zone because we are going against favorable direction, because you can see short's favorable right now. We're going against it. I'm only going to go halfway into the zone on an up move if we get a double cross at the bottom of a zone. That is called the DCR play. If you know what I'm talking about, type DCR in the chat. If you're not sure what that means, type a 2 for me. And we could go into further detail on that. So this is our current highlight region zone. Enigma for the win. How many of you guys actually took that Enigma moonshot there?
Fib.RTY on the 8th. Speed of RTY 51.
What's up, MVP? Great chatting with you on... What day did we talk? We talked Thursday or Friday? Did you find the live streams helpful? Did you get through... not sure if you were able to get through 20 over the weekend. How many live streams did you end up getting through there over the weekend? Were you able to get through 20? We had our chat Friday night.
Speed of RTY 77.
All right, so there's a double cross at the top of the zone here. So I'm going to take a stab at this double cross at the top of a zone here.
target.
And there's my 1K on the day. Double cross at the top of the zone. Everybody type DCR. Actually, you guys already did that. So how about we type in zone? And I'm going to talk about why it's important to draw in the zone. Type zone in the chat, and we're going to talk about why you need to draw those in. And that was an easy play right there, right all the way down into the middle of the zone. And we'll probably go all the way to the other side, as I told you before. If we are MACV short side, then I can actually hold that to the opposing side. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. But again, I was just trying to squeeze my way up to that 1K. And now I can take some relief. I'm going to take my tiny off the table now. Go back to our standard small. And there's my 1K on the day for me. And that's trade number 4. Pablo, that was too easy. It is, and it's because of the zone. Thank you guys for typing in zone. Draw in those accumulation zones when they start to come up. We get a distribution leg, some kind of move in a direction, and then you see what is a pivot at the bottom, pivot at the top. Just draw a region with that. Now, I just put out a video with, I think, a compilation video that Eddie done for us and had done. Wow, can't talk here this morning. Need some coffee. The highlight region. So I used to draw rectangles, and I kind of showed you guys. I found it was easier if you use the region highlight
Speed of RTY
Y right here.
Speed of RTY.
And I have that bound to my mouse, so it's called the region highlight Y if you're in your drawing tools there. So I can just press it and then instantly, draw a region quickly. And it'll extend over to the right as we go, so I don't have to keep, moving my box over or any of that kind of stuff. So some people like the box, but, I found the region highlight works quite well.
DCDMRTY on the 1.
All right, that's a 13.4. This could be another one that pushes us back inside because we already saw current tuning is a level 13. Yes? Yeah, so there's the up move on the 13. Be careful. We got a 13 and a 13.7. Technically, this is a double cross at the bottom of a zone, so we can play this up to the white line here if you are a DCR player. And if I weren't already at my, I don't want to say my limit, but again, trying to not overtrade and walking through, all that kind of stuff there, that is technically, this does function as a DCR as well. I did want to label up our DCR earlier at the top of the zone. So we'll turn this into our Mentorship Monday here and talk about things. I definitely want to tap into things to wait on when you're talking about filtering and taking plays. There's a misconception out there that if one of our setups shows up, that you should take every single one of them. You do want to filter, and you need to take context into consideration. Our system does help you a lot with context. At the same time, if you are a person who's traded the markets for a long time, maybe you have a pretty good read on context, whether the day is turning out to be a trend day, or if it's turning into some choppy action. You may have a good read on that. So if you've already got your idea, now you just need an entry. And so that's where our system comes in really well for that. However, it can also give you context. I like to just not guess about the context. It takes a lot of brain work off of me. I can simply use our MACVU tool down here. I'm sorry, the MACV histogram down here. MACVU is the combination of all those. And tell me whether or not I'm coming into the flat zone where I would not want to take any enigmas. Or if I'm extending out of that where I could. You got through 6 over the weekend? Hey, that's pretty good. my live streams are long. So, even at an hour plus, so it's 6 hours of time that you put in over the weekend. So, good stuff.
Speed of RTY 68.
Whiskers? Happy Monday, sir. So we've got about 4 minutes till 10 a.m. and let's look for news. There are a lot of times at 10 a.m. that we've got a lot of news. I'm going to type !news command in the chat here. So it looks like not at 10, but we do have at 11:30
Touch RTY on the 89.
and 11. Let's
Lower
see.
bands touch RTY
These
on
are all
35.
low impact. And 2 o'clock monthly budget statement for the US. Okay. Medium. So nothing super important today for news. I don't need to basically, lay off there at 10 a.m. So we have pushed through the prior low and we have now reached S1. So let's look for an accumulation zone here at S1 would be my first thought and thinking here. Up on the higher time frame, let's look at the higher time frame since we're coming in looking at a higher time frame play, S1. So I want to wait until we are here at, we've got double king timing here crossing over. So right in this area, I'll be looking for an entry around the lower time frame area. Found Algobox because I failed context, entries, tight stops on my own. Yeah, it's, and there's no shame in that. Me, myself, like I've told people before, if you took away Algobox from me now, would I be able to trade the way I trade? No. I have been around the markets for a very long time, but a personal context is nothing compared to the quantitative analysis that we have inside of Algobox. You know what I mean? It's much easier to read. I can just go, let me look at my chart. What does it tell me? Cool. Next. I'll tell you one of the coolest things that we have discovered recently was when we get clusters of AOs on the lower time frames to tell us that there is going to be a big continuous move. If it's in the morning, then we'll have that big continuous move before noon. And then if we have it later on, clustering, then we have it in the afternoon. And that has been an eye-opener. And that can also just signal on, you know what, this might be a day that I don't want to play. Because that's the hardest thing. It's knowing when not to trade. Knowing when to trade, relatively easy. Speaking of easy, I just saw as I'm gabbing away here, there's a cluster reversal. Just came in right there for target 1. This is a 4-legged dog trap. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see if this starts to stair stepper up here. But that was good enough for a pivot turn. That's a 24 tick pivot. So you can get a 10 and 15 out of a little cluster reversal there. If we do continue to run up, now we've got a gold target up above us. Gold line reversal that I might pop right here for GLR. Gold line reversal. Opportunity up top. There's 10 a.m. now. So top of the hour. Let's see if we get a move here right at the top of the hour. Currently, MACVU sitting solidly red. We've been on strong sell. We just popped up to moderate sell.
DCDMRTY on the 1. Speed of RTY 110. Speed of RTY 110.
Hey, Dork loves Mentorship Mondays. Love to hear it, my friend. So I'm just kind of watching this here for a minute because this is some interesting action. See, we've come into this butterfly, but we've got a very large butterfly zone here, and I want to kind of watch to see how this plays. We've got the prior low right up above us. We tapped the P point overnight. Prior high way up top, up there. Came into S1 around the prior low. So do we stay up inside, or do we end up kind of pushing down into S1 and S3 today? It's a Monday, and I think we'll go down, but who knows? You know, doesn't matter to me. That's the beautiful thing. But I do need to know contextually, well, how far can we go? So S2 and S3 pretty far down there. If this was prior high and prior low, I picture a candlestick. Oops, sorry, I'm drawing on things you guys can't see because I got it off screen here. So if prior high, prior low is here, so what you need to get used to doing is, so that means that Friday's candlestick looked like this. Does everybody understand this? This is like this is a daily bar. Okay, so the daily bar is going to be from the prior high to the prior low. Now, I didn't draw that accurately. People are going to be like, well, that's not true, Vinny. Okay, what if the body was like this?
Lower bands touch RTY on the
maybe
89.
Something like that. But you get it. Low, high. The whole bar. So this was this is the width of Friday. So if I take this and kind of double it down, if I'm like, okay, so if we continue down and I see another bar on a daily, see how I can go, well, about the same size brings me to around S3. Does everybody see that? You get it. You see that. Type a 1 in the chat. If you don't, type a 2. And talk about some more there. So S2, S3 might be potential runner targets here today. Now, I did not see a clustering of alpha omegas. In fact, we've been seeing very kind of easy breezies with those. So we may just stay inside of it. Okay, so big trap, push up, let's see. Wasn't an easy read trap because it's not a four-legged dog trap. What I kind of call the inverted check mark though. Check. Take off.
Speed of RTY 57. Speed of RTY 57.
So now when this starts getting wide, this is where I usually want to turn on the Enigma. I literally was about to say I want to turn on an Enigma right here. So there we go. One, two, three. Gotta watch out for a four-legged dog trap here though, and could pop up.
Reversing.
I hear buyers stepping in here. I'm going to reverse and pop it up. We'll talk about it here in just a minute.
Speed of RTY 81. DCDM RTY on the 1. DCDM RTY on the 1.
Let's turn into a cluster. I'm going to go ahead and close it out right here. There's something very odd going on right there, but so as we start to get smooth legs coming in, I was going to turn on full auto right there. We are about 4 minutes till the 10:10. So here's what had started to come in here that I saw. We basically, that butterfly tap in really started to get the move. We got space up into the ropes up above us. And that little down move definitely looked like your four-legged dog trap. You got 1, 2, everybody's looking down, 3, and then you get 4, and it didn't go, and then start to move up there. So I had to bail on that one. I'm going to mark that out. That's just experience talking, you know, just something you got to get used to. If this was up here somewhere, beautiful. But right here, that could be that tricky spot there. Cluster came in. Yeah, ends up being a continue. Let's see how far she's going to go there. So full trap, fake down, and they're continuing to push there. Still have space up above us to the golden ropes just up above us. I'm going to turn on full auto Enigma. I do want to take the next play there. We got 2 minutes
Speed of RTY
till the coffee break here. And the way it's kind of moving, this feels like a grind. So when in a grind, do not rewind, right? So with the grind, we have tapped strong buy twice now. So I want to look for a long move here. I'm literally just looking to get in on it. The first alpha omega after I move up, what do? So if I got an up move, first alpha omega, what am I going to do? Hopefully we get an alpha omega in here. That would be awesome.
Speed of RTY 64. Speed of RTY 64.
Continuation, exactly. Continuation with a stop behind the AO. That's right, MVP agent. MVP coming in hot. And now, Pablo, be careful on that one. Drill this one into your brain. Going to continue. Long, actually. Remember, I said an up move. So, big up move. First alpha omega. After a pullback. Comes back in, I get that first green alpha omega, boom. Green or blue, boom. I'm going to pop it. The continuation. Which in case when I'm saying up would be long. Just want you to know. And that's why I ask these questions, by the way. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to be like, oh, look, I know something you don't know. I just want you to know it. Pop quizzes are to grill it into your mind. Trust the Mac VU. Yeah, when in doubt, like just go with whatever this is telling you. Yeah, whatever the play is. It's grinding, so I expect that we're going to continue up, right? Just from the action itself. We're going to grind. Do not rewind, right?
Speed of RTY 52.
Okay, we're at 10:10. This is my official. I'm gonna follow all the rules here when I'm here with you guys in the morning. 10:10 is coffee time. So stretch break here. I've been sitting on our tails. Need to get the blood flowing.
Yeah, boy.
Let's hype it up a little bit. Maybe turn the standing desk on. And let's grab a little coffee. Yeah, I think so. Time for the stand-up desk. In fact, I'm feeling that today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into stand-up desk mode here, and I'm gonna grab a coffee. Remember, 10:10 to 10:30, things get a little bit wild. I have found that enigmas do quite well during this time window, so I'm gonna leave this on while I go grab coffee. And yeah, gonna let the tools do the work. Up 1K on a Monday. Oh, go stand-up mode.
Divergence down RTY on the 8th. Speed of RTY 73. Enigma long on the RTY4. Speed of RTY55. Speed of RTY62. Speed of RTY62. Speed of RTY72. Fib.RTY on the 8th. DCDMRTY on the 1. DCDMRTY on the 1. In it
Lower
long on the
bands touch
RTY on the 89.
Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. So I forgot I don't have, I need to install my IV cam so I can show you guys cool stuff in my office, like what I'm about to do right now. Go ahead and go to stand-up mode here. So I have it's actually a giant L desk. That I did not even know existed before I found this one. But I'm looking for L desks and I'm like, well, let's just see if they do. And they do! It's a dual motor. And yeah, 2 motors. But the thing is so cool. A giant L desk that can go up and down. Literally the whole thing. So anyhow, I love this desk. It's awesome.
35.
So stand-up desk here for the next half of this. I went downstairs to grab coffee and wifey has got like this amazing breakfast going here for me this morning. I was like, well, I can't pass that up. So I've got this amazingness here. On one of the kids' plates here. I'll show you guys a picture. I'll post it in Discord here in just a second. Let me put this over on my desk one sec. All right. Wow. What is this cluster? Okay, so let's look up top at the higher time frame. So wow, did we not get a single enigma that whole time? So I'm going to turn this off here for a second. Let me reassess. No, actually, I'm gonna turn it on. So we did not get a single enigma that entire time. We are on RTY, so I do have to. I am kind of adjusting myself to this new, a little bit slower instrument here, RTY. But looking at stats right now, RTY is just undeniably good setups, I guess, to say less. Let's go up to the top left here. So 10.3 for the pivot turn on the 4s. Remember that this is not like we saw earlier on the 13s on the lowest time frame. This one is much larger than that. It's 4 times that size. So 4 fractal, 10.3 pivot, then a beautiful 20. You guys know 20 or above is the bomb.com. So if you are looking at these numbers, 0, not great, but still ends up pushing up and hitting the ET 1T. So 20 tick target there for that one. But right now, this enigma has called so far 109 tick move up from that one. The 10.3 pivot, 143 ticks. Well, that's my lucky number right there. That's my blessing number. So 143 up to the ET20. On the 89, look where we're sitting, inside the golden ropes. We went from the bottom one up to the top one, now kind of pivoting down. So let's see if we're going to stay inside there or if we come out. Also, prior close sitting up above us. And right up underneath these 2 big red lines. Look at these, just sitting here. They'll likely retest that. So I would like to see a push up into this first before we're looking for any kind of big move down. It's also kind of early. It's 10:45. The big pivot play, though, may come with a big bunch of moves up. Faking them out, getting up, maybe the P point touch one more time, maybe just underneath the prior close, and then a move down to prior low again. So now I believe we will likely, oops, if I can draw the right, use the right tool here. Prior close to prior low in between these 2. So play here, and still, if we do break, I do think we end up coming all the way down through S2, S3, as I had said before, on the daily to complete out that big bar S2, S3 down below. I mean, if we are going to go up, prior high, it's up. We're dead center in the middle here. So we could run, but it doesn't matter to us, right? We're just going to take the play setups. We're going to follow along with the Mac VU. That's a beautiful thing. We don't have to predict, right? We can speculate, but we focus on execution. Analysis is analysis. Dime a dozen. But when it comes to RTOFA, there's nothing like AlgoBox. Real-time order flow analysis with structure, readable inputs, great stuff. Don't leave home without it. Speaking of don't leave home without it, I owe you guys a picture. Yes. Reason why it took me a little bit longer to get my coffee. Wifey gathered this amazing dish here for me, so I had to share. I love Pico. Anybody else big fan of Pico de Gallo? And what is it about
Enigma
Pico de
short on the
Gallo?
RTY1.
You know, it's awesome. Over here to main chat. I'm gonna post up. Oh. We're hitting targets. What just happened? Oh. Well, Enigma is going to town here. Okay, we got an 11.7 here. That is likely going to push us up here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this early. I'm actually going to take a shot the other direction here. Stop underneath the cross. And if you start to break down, then I'll just close it quick. Nah, we're grinding there. I'm gonna never mind. Killing it. No move. That is a little bit crazy. So now it looks like we're just continuing on down there. All right, so I posted a image there in a Discord channel chat. It was breakfast coming through. And yeah, if you're wondering like, well, why did it take Vinny so long to get a coffee? Well, coffee turned into this. And yes, that is a kid's plate because didn't want my wife to dirty up another dish for her. So I said, hey, let me just put it on one of the kids' plates here that they were already using. So yeah, there we go. Delicious. Delicious. So what is it about? Is it the cilantro and onion and tomato and little jalapeno? I mean, how is that not a good flavor?
Upper bands touch RTY on the 35.
All right. Yeah, so that continued to grind down and targets filled all the way down there. So could have gotten a little bit more out of that one. I'm still getting used to the speed on RTY. So you can see the big blue X right now that's telling me, hey, this is way too slow for the best trades. For me, you know, easy, what I call, it's a lot easier for me to read on, you know, more speed. Give me a little more speed on that. Yeah, all those ingredients taste so good together, doesn't it? Pico de Gallo on Fiesta ware. I know, I didn't get the Fiesta ware today because I didn't want my wife to have to clean another dish there, so I ended up grabbing one of the kids' plastic plates. The people that say Algobox is a scam don't work hard or just trying to blame someone else but themselves. I agree. Yeah, how is Algobox a scam? I think they just don't like that there's a price point on it. People want free today. People want free everything. It's like, I get free Facebook, I get free Twitter, I get free everything. I don't pay for anything. Okay. They're not business owners. You want to take your business seriously, then you're gonna like, well, I can make my own tortillas. I can make my own burritos. Okay, I mean, you can. If you want to go in business selling them, I wouldn't recommend, you know, making them out of your own home kitchen, you know what I'm saying? that is good. Okay, just went flat. I'm turning this off for a second. Why? Everybody tell me, what's it called? Why did I just turn off Enigma? Pop quiz. We just approached the what? What have I taught you guys? When we're going to turn off the Enigma is when we approach the blank. What is it? Give you a hint. 2 words. I mean, I guess you can combine them together. I'll give you credit. Flatline, that's right. Yes, very specifically the flatline. Beast, you're almost right. Don't fiddle in the middle. That's true. But the flatline, particularly, don't say 0. Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody to use the same. It helps if everybody uses the same language. It does something to a group and a community when you're using the same verbiage. Flatline. It is the flatline. Yes. Like when someone passes, or their heart stops, they go flatline, right? Flatline. So we'll use that. Flatline. Turning off Filato, then I'll turn it back on here in a moment. But yes, it is the 0 point. So it is confusing. People are like, well, it's the 0. And okay, but we call it the flat line. I'm going to drill that in. You guys are going to hear me say it over and over again. Just call it the flat line, flat line, flat line, flat line. It's a no on the flat line. Yes, our vocabulary of terms, exactly. Yes, everyone on the same page so everybody can help everyone together. Exactly.
Lower bands touch RTY on the 89.
Congruence. Yes. Algobox lexicon. Indeed, indeed. All right, so let's talk about some new things coming. So in a couple days here, around the 15th. See what's the weekend? This weekend is 16th, 17th, 18th. So within the next week, we're going to be putting out another release. We've got some cool new features.
ECMRTY on the one.
We'll be showcasing the new features that are coming in this next release. You guys are going to be seeing me use more full auto. While I'm doing manual, I'm going to be running full auto dual bot enigmas. And that's going to be fun. That will be run in a separate set of workspaces. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on a separate machine and have it RDP'd over, which is likely what we'll do. However, I have discovered a way to run multiple NinjaTraders on the same computer and splitting out your processors, since I'm not sure, you know, what NinjaTrader's definition of multi-threaded is. We get conflicting information every time we go and ask them. You know, maybe they've got an updated version now. If somebody wants to find out for me or can post me a link to what does NinjaTrader say about their multi-threading capabilities, what exactly is being multi-threaded? Is it still one thread for all indicators and one thread for the instrument? And then is there one per instrument? It's hard to find in their documentation, and every time you ask a tech support person, all of them give you a different answer. So I don't think anybody really knows, but what I can tell you from personal experience is it's not where I would hope it would be. Or if they gave you some more flexibility in your own code to call things into separate threads would be nice. But where I'm going with that is, so if I wanted to run two NinjaTraders and say, like, I've got 20 processors on a machine. At the same time, they're not all the same. So it's also, you got to talk about P cores versus E cores, so performance cores versus efficiency cores. And usually that's about half and half. So on a 20 core machine, that was one per chart and one per indicator. Yeah, you would think, Ghost Bear, but it's not. In fact, you know what? Do me a favor, Ghost Bear. You're highly involved and you sound like you already kind of know. You've got an assumption in your mind. Go email NinjaTrader support. And who else would like to take this up? Email NinjaTrader support. Ask them, like, where's their documentation on their multi-thread? How does their threading work? Because how many of you have had struggles with NinjaTrader? Let's all raise our hand. You know, where things are hanging up. And of course, what they'll say is, well, it's because you got so much going on. And I get that. That's true. That is true. We've got a lot of calculations going on per bar and all that. So got that. And it's very cool. The flexibility that they give to us is awesome. Like, I'm not going to complain so much that they're going to be like, okay, fine, we're complaining so much, we're just going to turn off the capability of having custom code. I'm not saying that. But I'm just like, let's get a real definition of what do they mean by multi-threaded, and let's find out. The last that I understood was one thread per instrument. So RTY, one thread. NQ, one thread. So if I've got 4 instruments, it would be 4 processors. At the same time, in hyperthreading, I understand that another thread will be available for all indicators, which that's tough. In my opinion, that's tough. At the same time, if they're super fast, that's why I always tell you guys, get the fastest CPU that you can. I don't care about memory. Yeah, you need to have, you know, SSD hard drive, but mostly CPU process like a boss, right? Hooked on pips. Do you have an answer? What is tell me what is your understanding? That's my understanding. What I just said. Yeah. Now, I hope that I don't hope that's correct. I hope I'm wrong. Actually, I wish it was that. I wish it was one thread per chart. So Ghostbear said, knowing trader, it's probably one thread per chart. I wish it was. I'm more concerned that when I do this, so if I zoom out in multi-time frame, what I understand in their documentation is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 charts here. All of these are on 2 threads. All of it. Because it's RTY. And then all indicators run through a separate thread for this instrument. Ten charts with 10 separate instruments equals 10 threads. 10 charts with one instrument, not one thread. So the charts don't matter. 10 instruments, right? Which of course would be one per chart, but it's not even per chart. And that's where people read into that. It's one thread per instrument. So all these charts are run on one thread for the data feed. Okay. And I understand that. So the data feed coming in, that's one thread. Okay. But then all the calculations for every indicator on all charts, all of them per bar, when a new bar fires, we calculate on a single thread for everything. And Market Analyzer also in a separate thread. That's true. That's true. Market Analyzer is kind of like a Market Analyzer and another one. Look, the DOM is its own as well. I have noticed. So if you've ever noticed, like when your whole system hangs up, you want to know why I keep this off on the side. Okay, I don't need a DOM, but why do I keep this? Sometimes when all the other charts hang, this will stay open so I can still close out my trade. Have y'all noticed that? So I have a trading Superdome open specifically just so I can close this out. Another little pro tip. The time and sales seems to also be in its own thread. But sometimes, you know, well, that could be waste. I don't know. But yeah, see if we can get an updated answer. And who knows, they can always change it, right? Like, you know, a new version comes out. They went to 8.117, 8.1.2, introduced the flashing issue that I hope we can get them to address at some point. Yeah, Market Analyzer is likely on its own thread as well. I don't even use a Market Analyzer at all. What do you use it for, Pip? I think you have it set so for volume for contract rollover, right? Like you've got it for that. Do you have it for other things? Remind me. Can you post a screenshot of your Market Analyzer that you use? Anybody else, if you're using Market Analyzer, take a screenshot for me, post it in the Discord chat in public, and let me see, you know, if that's... I hate to say that I have not seen it be useful, but to not be offensive, at the same time, I'm the first person who is not going to be afraid to offend someone by the truth. I've always seen things say one thread per instrument. Yes, so they don't get out of sync. It's a crappy excuse for a lazy programming. Well, there's something to that. I will say, let me give some NinjaTrader credit here on the way that the data comes in. Let's come down here into like a little bit of a training window section here. So what is the data that's coming in? Let's see who can tell me when we're talking about the data for RTY. What does the data look like? What is in the data? Let's really think about it. What data is coming in right now? I'll start walking that through. Buys and sells, right? A buyer and a seller. That's it. The buyer and a seller is meeting on the chart, correct? Oh, use it for Pippi Robbie. Yeah, that probably is the only one. Yeah, that is a good way to do it. If you're running dual bots to try to track where they're at. Oh, I see. You got daily volume, days until rollover. Okay, yeah. Well, last price is a waste of CPU, right? You got last price. Like, what's that for? It's just for, that's just for looks, right?
TY on the one.
Where's the one with Pippi Robbie, Pip? Yeah, show the Pippi Robbie one. Yeah, so tracking your P&L for separate accounts. But even that, technically, you can just use the strategy tab or the accounts tab for P&L, you know what I mean? But it's just fancy. It kind of looks cool. So Market Analyzer, you know, what's the point of it having its own thread, you know? Use multiple full auto accounts. Yeah, so multiple full autos. But even that you can all see on the accounts tab, right? You can go to the accounts tab and you can see all those there. So you don't really need the Market Analyzer. It just makes it pretty, right? But yeah, post a screenshot of what that looks like there, Pip, in chat so other people can see it. Now I'm going to get back to my chat here about this. So, what is the data? It's lesson time. All right, I'm going to answer all these questions for you. It's time to geek out because, hey, it's Mentorship Monday, and why not? All right, first question. What is the data? Okay, the data is, well, I did answer it down below. It's the buyers and sellers, but how does that translate? What exactly is that? How do you identify a buyer and a seller? Well, at a price, correct? So the data, go blue. And this comes down to the basic stuff of charts. What is a chart? It has an XY axis. Type in the chat, what is the XY axis of the Cartesian plane? Got to bring back some your old, don't turn off the stream just because you heard Cartesian plane. But if your kids are in, we're having to do homeschool for 4 children. So, the stuff that we learned back in, elementary and junior high and high school, it's fresh on my mind, right? So Cartesian plane, XY axis, right? The XY axis, across the X axis we have time, right? What do we have going up and down on the Y axis? Price, time and price. And what's being tracked over time? Q plus. Quantity of each. Time, price, quantity. These are literally your 3 rows of data. That's it. Time, price, quantity. So let's give an example. What time is it right now? 11:11. Make a wish. Right? So current time is 11:11 EST. That's time. Current price on RTY is 18,750. And the quantity is a lot of bid-ask flipping and flopping, but right now there's about 2 to 4, so I'll go quantity, we'll go 0, 4 for quantity. All right, but I'm going to divide this out here because we got pluses and whatnot. Now, how many of you guys knew that before I just typed that out? Be honest. If you knew this already, this is the width of the data. This is it. The data, this is it. Time, price, and quantity. Did you know that? If you knew it, type a 1. If you didn't, type a 2. And do not be ashamed if you didn't. Now, after I laid it out, you'll be, oh yeah, I kind of knew that. Come on, but for real, did you really know that? Be honest. Time, price, and quantity. That means the data that is coming in is how many columns wide? How wide is the data? the data is only 3 columns wide. It's a very narrow data set. So when you have a very narrow data set and it's coming in very, very fast, do you really need multiple threads to handle that? If it's only 3 wide, don't you only need one single processor? This is where we're gonna be like, well, Vinny, I thought you were upset about their multi-thread, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not upset about it. I'm just concerned about kind of the way I guess it's sold to you. But I mean, you know, it's what, I guess that's what sales is. Put your best foot forward. It's multi-threaded. Well, technically it's true because 1 thread per instrument, because the data is very narrow. As the data is coming in, how much processing do you really need to do? Right? If you're just drawing bars, well, not a whole lot. So where does all of the horsepower come in? Well, that's where, when you're having to go bars back, how many bars back? And then we're looking at legs of data. So that's where it's data coming in, stacking the new data and the new data and the new data and the new data. It's always just new data coming in. You're not doing modifications. So that's another thing. It's never modified. Right? The data that's actually hits the buyer and the seller, it's recorded and it's done. It's never modified. And the proper term is called appended. Okay, this is data geek speak here. Okay, but hey, it's learning day. You want to learn? Here we go. Data is never modified. It's only appended. So if data is currently continuously coming in, you have to do a lot with sets of data, and you've got to track those. So you're continuously looping, holding legs of information, doing calculations. New piece of data comes in, you have to do it again. New piece of data comes in, you have to do it again. New piece of data comes in, you have to do it again. So every appended piece of information, you have to do it. Now at the same time, remember the 3 ways that that NinjaTrader out of the box calculates? You remember the calculation method? So if you go into any indicator and you go into the calculation mode, what is the calculation mode? This is what I just talked about. Do you recalculate every time a new buyer and a new seller hit? Well, that's what happens when you say on each tick. Right? Well, actually there's 2. There's basically 2 that are pretty similar. On each tick means whether they hit or not. It means you're constantly doing something. You do not want on each tick, if possible, when you're talking about calculating data, because you would literally have to recalculate everything back to the left continuously on each tick, every tick that comes in, versus on price change means when you actually had a buyer and a seller meet. Because how many times have you seen there's a gap between the bid and the ask? So if you look at a gap between the bid and the ask, that means no one has agreed on the current price, and that gap means you don't have to calculate if you have it set to on price change. On price change calculation mode, so remember there are 3 types: on price change, on each tick, and on bar close. Right, and what do I always tell you guys to use? Type it in the chat. Generally speaking, we always want to use which one? Think about it. And the answer is on bar close. Because I don't want to recalculate just because, you know, somebody put another bid ask on the table. Right, and I don't want, just because somebody agreed on price, I don't want to necessarily recalculate just because there's a new price, move up or down. But if there's a new bar printed, now the bar has to do that, right? Every bar, with bars, you're going to have to take that into account. So bars are always processing. And that's what NinjaTrader is doing with the one single thread, is continuously drawing bars. That's one thread eaten up, is just the data coming in, drawing bars. Everybody understand that? So that's one thread. That means the other thread per instrument has to do all of the other stuff. So if I've got, for instance, our harmonic structures, our Fibeli dots, all of the calculations going inside of Enigma, all the calculations going in through, anything else that you see drawn on your charts, SMLK lines. How many of you guys are programmers and know what an array is? If you know what an array is in coding, an array, type in the definition of an array. Or if you want to go Google it, type in the definition of an array. If you're coding and you're doing it for NinjaTrader and you want to do anything really cool and complex, you need to truly understand arrays very well. So if you are a coder or an aspiring coder, you're going to want to know what an array of data is and how to track them, how to name them so that you can reference them and be able to reference them in loops and use recursion to go over things multiple times. So if you're ever wondering, oh, I hate this part of the class, or teaching recursion, you're going to want to pay attention to that if you are going to want to code anything useful, in my opinion. So the reason this matters is understanding the threads. And don't complain to NinjaTrader when you're like, why don't y'all use more threads? Listen, I'm trying to educate you so you don't sound stupid. Okay? Because to a coder, you sound stupid. Well, why isn't it multi-threaded? Because it's not a data set that you can do multi-threading on. And if you don't know that, this is where I hold up your stupid sign. Okay? You're stupid. Don't cry about it. Get unstupid. Now, stupid is only when you know better, and then you do it anyway. So that's stupid. So let me correct myself to you. You're not stupid. You're ignorant. You are ignorant. And I actually hate that word. Who doesn't hate that word? Ignorant. But you know what's funny is you'd rather be ignorant than stupid. But now today that I've given you the information, if you still complain about it, now you're stupid. So that's the danger, is like when Paul was preaching to all kinds of people in Corinth. They would go into these places and like he said, you're not responsible for this information before I came here. But now you're on the hook because I gave you the truth and the truth will set you free. But if you're going to now reject the truth, now you're stupid. Okay. Whereas before you walked in ignorance and it's okay. Now you know better. So stop complaining about it. Understand it. So we talked about buyers and sellers and how many of each. That's the quantity. Where they meet, we talked about that. The tick versus on price change, where they've actually met each other and agreed on a price. Once they have agreed on a price, that's when the price changes. Everybody understand that's right? Right. Okay. What does it look like? 3 rows wide. So I didn't draw you a grid yet, so we'll go ahead and do that. Time, quantity, price, right? And it's just going down and going all the time. Only 3 wide. So you don't need multi-threads. You don't need to like this. And plus this data, one row of data
on the one
is together. That's 1 unit right there. Time, quantity, price. It needs to be all processed together. You don't want to split that out into multi-threads. In fact, it will cost you more in multi-threading. This whole thing people don't understand either. This has to do with if you're writing queries in SQL, the DOP level, and it gets into a whole nother theory of sorts, but you can literally, it will cost you more to split something into multi-threads. So sometimes you do something called a force DOP 1. Because if the query analyzer goes, I need to create an execution plan that goes, I'm going to use multi-threads, and it's costing more to create the threads separately and then to reunite them, because after threads spin off and do their thing, you guys understand that when two processes go off on their thread and do their work, they have to come back together. And then that has a cost to it. It has a performance cost. So that's why you say max stop 1. If you ever use that, if you want to Google that, type max stop 1. That's a SQL query thing in data speak. So max stop 1 can force that. Well, that's why NinjaTrader doesn't do that, because they know, well, it's stupid to waste processing to split this out. So I want to say that to teach you guys, like when you're trolling NinjaTrader about, oh, you aren't doing multiprocessing. If you've listened to this lesson, now you're stupid. Whereas before you walked in ignorance, but now you're stupid. Everybody get it? So how does it come in? So this comes from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That's why you have a data feed that's separate from the broker recording the buys and the sells. The broker is recording the buys and the sells. The data feed comes in from another source. Does everybody understand that? For instance, CQG or Algorithmic, those are data providers. Yes, now some of them are both. That's where things start to get confusing and people are like, well, I don't understand, Vinny, mine's both. Well, yes, they can function in both. But for instance, NinjaTrader, before they became their own brokerage, pre-2014, they were just a software provider. They created the greatest software platform for trading on the planet. That is not debatable. And if you want to debate me on it, come to my Discord channel chat and we'll do an open mic night. As long as you want to speak respectfully, we'll talk about it and I will hand you your butthole and prove to you that there was no other platform better than that, because of something as simple as backtest, optimized, walk forward plus Monte Carlo in the same one at 64-bit, plus allowing you to integrate the Windows operating system .NET platform. There is no other out there that allows you to do that, plus code protection, encryption all together. Impossible at that time for anyone else. I don't say it's impossible, but did not exist prior to. So how does it come in? It comes in through CQG or Algorithmic or, I don't know, name another one. Data feed providers. And there's not that many of them. And oftentimes when you're like, well, I got AMP. Well, who does AMP use? AMP under the hood uses who? CQG. Right? Well, I got NinjaTrader. Well, technically, NinjaTrader is also CQG. Know that? Well, I use a paper feed and it's from Algorithmic. Well, that's true. Algorithmic is a data provider and they also provide a paper trading service, which is what most of the trader funding programs out there use, right? So how does it come in?
Speed of RTY82.
Comes into memory first.
Lower bands touch RTY
RAM
on the 35.
Disk. Where? No, somebody's going to be mad. Oh, what about, I got a different drive. Okay, we're just going to give documents by default. Now, there's folders inside of that, so I'm not going to break it all the way down. It goes farther than that.
On the RTY4.
But since we're trying to be techie today, how's it come in? So this comes in to the RAM first, and then written immediately to disk.
Speed of RTY51.
Which is why you need a fast hard drive, and you need to turn off all that real-time scanning nonsense. Because it's writing files constantly. It's like all that data is being written to. Files open. Look how many files are in that folder. If you go into those subfolders, you see one for every instrument has its own folder, and then inside of it, it has individual files that are continuously, and if you look inside there, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Time, quantity, price. It's very narrow, but that's what's coming in. Okay, sorry, I think that answers both those questions. Where does it land? Okay, how does it come in? First comes into RAM, goes to disk. Where does it land? And so that answers both, where I just put that answer right there. So I'll go ahead and check mark both of those. So as far as multi-threading, you kind of see why you're not going to split that any farther than they currently have it. NinjaTrader would have if they
Speed
could
of
have, but you can't split the first
66.
thing. But what I am wishing or hoping they could figure out was, well, what about giving the developer a little more flexibility on splitting some things into a separate thread? For instance, let's say that I have a very complex algorithm, because not all algorithms are written the same. We had some hilarious information of an idiot, an unnamed idiot that we won't talk about, but an idiot who pretended that they could code NinjaTrader. Like, I work with NinjaTrader. I know how it works. No, literally a person in authority had to be like, were you an employee of NinjaTrader? No. Okay, then shut the F up. Stop talking for NinjaTrader. You have no idea what it took them to code it. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about how to code something to connect. Has nothing to do with all of the back end of the NinjaTrader setup, licensing servers, etc. Right? So, many idiots online. But if you really want to know how it works, this is how it works. So think about it, think through it, then you'll understand why there's not more, because people are like, well, there should be more threading. There should be more money. I've got 20 processors and it's not using any of my processors at all. I always should be using more. How do you know? You don't know how it's coded. You don't know how it works. Well, now you do. So now you know. How would you split out one row of data? Think about it. How would you, that row is literally, it's only 3 little numbers, little tiny numbers. How would you split that? You can't. Well, I would do 3 and I would do 3, Vinny. Well, yeah, because you don't know about max stop either. I just taught you, but go Google it. It would cost you more to split it out and bring it back together to reunite. So there's no point in processing time, price, and quantity separately because they're so tiny. Your PC can handle that very, very easily. It handles it in one piece of cache. If you don't know what cache data is, I'm not talking about RAM. I'm talking about the cache that's right next to your CPU on your motherboard. You don't know what that is. Oh, it's because you didn't study in school. Study motherboards for a little bit. I'm a project manager. Trust me, bro. Just trust me. I'm a project manager. I work with a lot of devs. Trust me, I know things. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, sorry, you don't. All right. So there you go. Take a screenshot of that maybe and put that in your pipe and smoke it. Everybody bored to tears yet? Looks like we had a couple of flatliners. That one got maybe 10 and 15, bottom of the zone. Went up, but what do we not do, right? We want, if we are shorts favorable and we are max red, one at the bottom, we're only looking for the middle of the zone, right? Everybody knows that. This dropout, you're not going to want to jump in the middle of that train. And that one also was flat 0. So easy one to miss on that one. Before it went
along on the RTY1.
Let's see, from the back of it, from the bottom up. I mean, technically it went 20 ticks from the bottom, but literally went 20 ticks up, and then we get the dropout here. Now, there is potentially a moonshot that I might want to get involved with. Got my finger over the buy here.
Lower bands touch RTY on the 35.
Nope. All right, didn't hear any buyers. So I'll kill it right there. Let's watch this spot here. We could do a 2-try rule. If it comes down and we start to hear buyers, I can do a 2-try rule right here. Got my finger over the buy in case we do. We're in the middle of a shark back on a higher time frame play. For a 4-legged dog trap here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 4. Here's the buyers. Give that a shot one more time. 2-char rule on the moonshot. Nope. All right. Here in 2 sets of buyers or 2 sets of sellers. No continuation on the buys. Might kick myself in a minute here. I got my finger over the buy. If we do start clacking in, I want to hear the buyers step really hard. Nope, still hearing sellers. Here comes king timing zone, so we can give it a retry right in here somewhere.
DCDMRTY on the 1.
For it, we're in large timing. Listening for buyers. Only sells. Okay. So we'll mark that one as fail. So that's 2 in a row. 1, 2. And you know what? I might even count this one. Like this one really didn't get up to its 20 tick target. So I'll count that 3. I'm going to go ahead and turn on full auto now. And I'm going to switch this to 5. Small on the next one. In fact, I'm going to go 5 big on the next. So let's talk about why doing that. Yeah, Albie, I'll come back to answer your question there. So this is what we saw. Came in straight to the shark back. Nice up winner there to the target. I'm hearing buyers step in here. Let's see if we get a trap and an up move here or not. It's moving quickly up, so that makes me nervous when we go quick up. And yet we're grinding down. So currently best plays are to the short side, right? So
on the 1.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we're getting a 4-legged dog trap to the top side. That is a double cross, not quite at the top of the zone. Top of the zone is up here. Let's go ahead and draw in this zone. I'm making mistakes of not drawing the zone right now. I'll count those as little pop outs. So debatable whether those are at the top of the zone. It's not quite up at the top, but it kind of is here. So I would like to take those. But I'm a little bit nervous here on the speed. Speed is very difficult here. I do want to grind down. Got my finger over the sell. But I'm a big trap player. I like to watch for traps. Let's look up top here. Top left. I don't think we even talked about this. Because I sure didn't see it. I think I was talking too much. Oh, it's because I was talking with you guys about the other stuff. That is a beautiful Enigma. Call on the bottom. Up move there for, let's see how many ticks. That is perfection. That's 50 ticks to the upside move there. Plus a shark back. Shark back. Did anybody catch this one? On the fours. Shark back plus the Enigma at the back. I'm sure some of you guys caught that because that's a favorite right there. So we're going to be looking for, I need to get my little 5-trade sheet over on that top screen. I thought it was there. I don't know. So when we are in a grind, do not rewind, and we have just been grinding down. 3. Okay, waiting on a new bar in the 89. Wait for a new bar. That is an ignition bar if we complete it all the way down. So we'll want to look for a down move after that. If you see the ignition bar, type ignition in the chat. Don't type it too.
Divergence of RTY on the 8.
Okay, it's about to finish. Bar's almost finished. See it? I'm going to zoom in.
Touch RTY on the 35.
See it? Okay, we've got the new bar. We got a DCDM here. I'm going to get short on a DCDM. Target down here on the gold line. I'm going to stop behind the crosses here. If it comes back up, I'll stop out. Yikes. Okay. Big set of buyers coming in right here.
Enigma long on the RTY.
Oh boy. All right. So I'm
Lower
going to add to that position here.
35.
See if that's going to help us out. If they got caught in the trap here, this is going to be tricky here. Stops below the Enigma. We're going to draw a line here regardless for an area that we may want to look for. It's going to be important later in the day, even if it doesn't work out right now. Later on, we want to look at this spot. I lost my 89 chart. Where's my 89? Where's my 89? All right, I'm going to take half right there. Let me see what's going to happen here. I'd like to see a little 4LDT happen right here, but this could turn into an 89. Oh boy. Okay, so Enigma showing up here telling me we've got one more shot here. I'm going to put my stop right here. If we, there we go, target up at the 20. Speed is wretched.
Reverse.
All right, I'm going to reverse that right there on a 13. 13s have been the reversal point all day. We are currently... Oh no, we just actually went back to buy. Okay, so I am having a hard read on that. Sorry, I don't mean to say that. Apologize, Father. All right, so I'm going to close out above this 12 here if we don't start to push down on that. We kind of went up quickly, so I think that should get some people looking up. Hopefully they get caught. Remember that 89 bar I was telling you about? I really want to see this. That is an ignition bar down, so I really want to play the downside after that. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I want to play this down bar. I'm going to right click and set this to always on top, and let's keep an eye on this 89 bar. See if we get that continuation follow through. Could be worth 100 plus ticks here, and it is during the lunch hour. Remember, during lunch, it's beast mode hour, right? We are at 11:50. It's a little bit different than in the afternoon. Again, I'm less familiar playing the afternoon. I'm normally not out here during this time of day, so it's going to be a little bit trickier on that. Oh, I thought that said 13. That's a 12. Yeah, I got to stop saying that. Why? Okay, word. I apologize. I do need to draw this line in the sand here on this big pink 19.5, as we had said earlier. F6, and we're going to make that C. All right, top left, I see a cave here. Go ahead and mark this up. I'm gonna set this to global. All charts. That will show up down there and change its color.
Enigma long on the RTY4. DCDMRTY on the 1. Lower bands touch RTY on the 89.
Okay, so that ignition bar down, 1, 2, 3 on the ignition. Yeah, I mean, I guess I should have taken into account that we've got a flat rope here, but yeah, I thought it would go one more bar, 1, 2, and a 3, and then ended up eating the entire bar up. Okay, so now we are filling in the cave. So I'm going to buy at the back of that cave, and we'll see if we start to fill that up. And was hoping I would get an alpha omega cross on the lowest time frame here. It's basically what I'm looking to do to reverse and get with this if it's going to keep running. Got a big move up, and I want to enter in on that first alpha omega, which we haven't got. Looks like, well, it's going to come all the way back to my point of entry. Oh, wow. What a gift. Okay, there's king timing on the lowest time frame here. Okay, I'm going to go half up here, and I'm going to get back the other way. Waiting for an alpha omega would be nice. All I got was a single cross, so I'm going in partials. Hoping to get that alpha omega. Didn't get it. Come down here on the lowest time frame. So basically, I was hoping as this came down, I'd get an alpha omega to get long. All I got was single cross on king timing.
DCDMRTY on the 1.
All right, let's see if this is a 3 wise men reversal into king timing. So 3 wise men, 3 WM could also be considered a cluster. I call them 3 wise men when they're a little bit more spread out. But if this is a cluster zone at the top of the zone, remember we had this 19.5 from before. So kind of the line in the sand here. And giving that a shot here, but let's see if we're going to continue to just melt. We've been grinding up. Now we're melting down. Currently still strong buy, so I'm hoping that stays there with me. Okay, we've gone back down to moderate buy. I don't like that it's fast up. I wanted to see a fast down move, like a boom down move, get them all in to fake them before we pop up. Didn't see that. So we are not out of the woods yet. We needed to see an aggressive down move. Wham! Fast for the bounce. All right, I'll add to my position here on the Enigma. Problem is we are flat. Let's remember this. We are currently flat as flat can be. We came down and we are flat. If this one doesn't work out, we'll know why.
Enigma long on the RTY1.
And another one I'll add to position. Technically a moonshot and another 12.4. Okay, I am going in big right here. And let's see what happens. First, Alpha Omega finally, after a big up move, big up move, big up move, came down. Alpha Omega, plus we've got double Enigmas. Hopefully that's working out well for us. I don't like that we just went flat. That's the only thing that makes me very nervous because these tend to give more heat because of the flat. And the speed is atrocious. This is not easy for me at all. I like a lot more speed than this. Big move is coming out of this one way or the other. Don't like where it's located. It could go either way here. We are no longer on the buy side either. We are currently neutral. Yeesh. Yeah, 17 BPM, way too slow. Exactly. And the thing is, it's hard to tell which way. I don't even mind the grind as long as I know which direction, but it's hard to tell which way is it grinding because it's grinded up and it's grinded down. So are we just floating in the middle? Trying for the moonshot here, but it is on the flat. I'm just going to remind myself it was flat. I'm going to remind myself over and over again about this one. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to kick myself later. Just go, I knew it. It was flat. Easy one to go ahead and skip, especially when it's a double like that. It is double trouble. Did not immediately start taking off. At the same time, this one did the same though. Came in, well, it wasn't flat though. It looked like it took forever and then ends up grinding all the way up. That was nice. But was that the, okay, get everybody in, and now we're going to continue the grind down. Here comes king timing.
Enigma long on the RTY1.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I should be adding to position here, but I'm already too thick to do so. At least now we know where our absolute stop out is below the 11. We have been flat for a while. I'm hoping, remember how I've told you before, I want to avoid the first one, but now if we've been sitting on the flat for a while, oftentimes the Enigma coming out of the flat is a good play. I'm feeling more hopeful now as that one comes through there, and hopefully that's the one that pushes us up and out of this miserable zone.
Fib.RTY on the 35.
Right? Can't a trader catch a bid, right? Five minutes till the bottom of the hour, and yeah, this is torturous. So I wanted to stay out here and try to get some more Mentorship Monday chat and teaching and training. Hopefully you guys got some out of that there, but yeah, we may end up closing out kind of flat to neutral here this afternoon. Don't have too many people hanging out anymore. So we're just kind of like, all right, I'm bored of this grind. Yeah, no joke. So we may come back for the afternoon session. We'll be back at 2 to 2:30. And I'll post you guys some updates here on what's going on with this trade here. We are currently still flat, so we'll work to see how that goes. Yeah, I'll catch you guys this afternoon. Thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis G, and Eddie B, I am sending out the Big H-Town. Hey, don't forget about the last, I forgot about this. I don't even think I talked about this at all. Back to school offer is going to include all the good stuff, and there's now a payment plan option available there on the website and inside of Discord, in the announcement section. And I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya. Art team. Show them how it's done.
The old adage where, the individual investor doesn't have a chance because the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, more money and better opportunity. I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investor because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use they have better front-end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us.
DCDMRTY on the 1.
You just play the game.